How's it going, everybody? It's Charlie and welcome back to another upload on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. It's that time of the week, guys. It's time for pre-match thoughts ahead of Southampton versus Leeds United at St Mary's tomorrow afternoon. Now, as I did mention in my last upload after the Watford game, the reason why I've been quite inactive over the last few weeks is that I have recently just got back from Cyprus about 2 nights ago. I had a nice breakaway with my girlfriend. Obviously, it was the international break as well, so it is usually quite dull, but I did manage to quite enjoy it this time. Watched the England games whilst I was over there. They were pretty boring, weren't they? As they always are. World Cups and Euros is the only time that I really get behind England. But it's back for club football now in the Premier League, and it's a chance for Leeds United to move higher up the table. So, just before we get into my overall thoughts ahead of this game, you know the drill, guys. Please smash the like button, please subscribe, and let's get into it. So then, guys, let's dive right in. So, Southampton, similar place in the league to us. Slow start for them. They've not picked up a win yet out of their opening 7 games. They've had a few draws, a few losses. Obviously, Leeds slightly better in that respect, as we did manage to pick up 3 points last time out against Watford, in which, from everything I'm seeing, obviously I had to work that day, so I didn't make it. But everything that I've seen, everything that I heard from that game, Leeds completely dominated, and it should have been about 3 or 4-0. Which I think the only negative to come out of that game is that, we just weren't as clinical as what we maybe were last season. I think it is an area that we definitely need to improve on, whether it's Rodrigo or Bamford up top. And even as wingers and other players as well, they just need to work on finishing, really, for me. I think the intensity against Watford, the press, the Bielsa ball that everybody loves was definitely back. Some of the link-up play that I've seen with Rafinha, Rodrigo and Dan James was just unreal, and Clicky as well. Click seems to be really back at his usual best now, which is really good to see. But again, the cutting edge, the clinicalness of our chances is just not there at the minute. Fair enough, Llorente scores that really cute finish from the corner kick, but it should have been way more. Dan James should have had a pen as well. But, all that mattered on that occasion is that Leeds got the 3 points, which we did. Going into this Southampton game, we'll just speak a little bit about Southampton now. Obviously, as I briefly just said there, they've had a really slow start, a few draws, a few losses. They've not picked up 3 points yet, which is the only bit that kind of makes me a little bit nervous ahead of this one, because, teams seem to save their best games for us. Hopefully that will not be the case. What gives me real confidence going into this one, guys, is the players that they've got out. The 2 main ones for me, Che Adams is out injured, and James Ward-Prowse, their captain and their key man in the midfield, is out suspended after he got a red card against Chelsea last time out. Now, for me, with James Ward-Prowse out, that midfield battle is key. I think, you're looking at, hopefully, Calvin. We'll get onto team news in a little bit for Leeds, but, hopefully Calvin, Clicky and Dallas can kind of maintain that midfield battle. You're probably going to be coming up against Romeu. There's Walcott on wings, potentially. Nathan Teller, and then you've got Kyle Walker-Peters and the other guy who they signed from Chelsea. I can't remember his name, if I'm honest, but they are really good fullbacks going forward. So hopefully we can kind of keep them at bay. If I'm honest, last time out against Watford, I was wary of that Dennis and Sarr for them, but apparently we kept them really quiet. So hopefully that's the same outcome in this Southampton game. As I said, the midfield battle will be key. If James Ward-Prowse was playing, it would be a much harder task. But for me, with him out, Leeds need to dominate that midfield area, and we really need to be at it with the intensity and the press. Now, brief team news for Leeds United. Obviously, Phillips looks set to play. Now, obviously, it is a bit touch and go with Phillips, but they've said hopefully he should be playing. If not, even if Pascal plays there and then you've got Llorente and Cooper at the back, I still think we've got enough for us to win that midfield battle. Also, Luke Ayling is only halfway through his recovery. Koch is in America having an operation. And Bamford is still out as well, which means Rodrigo will be leading the line, which, based on recent games and recent performances that he's put in, I'm actually quite excited about. Hopefully he can bag himself a goal because he really does deserve it at the moment. And moving on to finally our star man at the minute, Rafinha. As we all know, he made his first start for Brazil in the early hours of this morning, and he bagged himself 2 goals. So his price for me has just increased. You know, there's all these links linking him to a move to Liverpool, which I think we need to accept that it is inevitable that one day he will move on, whether it's at the end of this season, next season, who knows. But I feel like the performances that he puts in for Leeds and for his national team now have all but increased his price. I would be accepting nothing under 80 million, which might seem a lot, but based in today's market, you've got Ben White going to Arsenal for 50 million, which for me, he isn't worth 50 million. So Rafinha is definitely worth 80, 90 million plus for me. So yeah, but anyway, hopefully he will be back. You know, he had a long flight, and I don't think he's going to get back into the UK until tomorrow morning. Bielsa said if there's no fatigue there, then he will play. But if there is a slight element, then they won't risk him. Now, for me, I wouldn't risk him in this game anyway. That may sound a bit controversial because we all want him to play. I want him to play as well. But for me, it's Southampton. Regardless of what happens, it's not exactly a big team that we're coming up against. And for me, Dan James on right, Harrison on left, that is still definitely enough for us to be beating a Southampton side. So yeah, as for my predicted 11 in this one, guys, I'm going to go for Meslier in goal, of course, followed by Jamie Shackleton at right back with a centre back partnership of Diego Llorente and Liam Cooper. I do think he's going to go with Coops. If Phillips starts, then I want Strike at centre-back with Llorente, if I'm honest. But based on recent games, I think he is going to go with Cooper, which apparently against Watford he had a good game, so fair enough. And then at left-back, Junior Firpo. As I said, fingers crossed Calvin does pass fit and he plays in the CDM role, as always. But if not, you're probably going to see Pascal Strike play there. Followed by a midfield. I'm basing this on the fact that Rafinha isn't going to play, because I don't think he will play in this game. I'm going to go with Dan James on the right, Clickett and Stuart Dallas in the middle with Jack Harrison on the left, and then Rodrigo up top. For me, that 11 is more than capable of beating this Southampton side. Yes, we're away from home, but I still think we have the tools to beat this side. If Leeds win this game, depending on other games, we could go as high as 13th, which is quite a considerable jump from 16th. A draw, I guess, when I say wouldn't be the end of the world, would it? Wouldn't it? I'll be honest, I'd be quite disappointed if we draw in this game. I think we need to win it. Wolves next week will be a tougher test. They seem to be improving week by week. So I think a win against Southampton is key in this next run of fixtures. Because then even if we did, worst case scenario, if we did get a draw or get beat by Wolves, if we then beat Norwich afterwards, then it's all right for me. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts then, guys. As I said, midfield battle will be 100% key in this game. As for a scoreline, I'm going to be conservative. I do think it'll be more than this, potentially. But I'm going to sit on the fence a bit, and I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds United in this one. I think we've definitely got enough, and I'm going to go with Rodrigo and Dan James. I'm going to say Dan James will score his first Leeds United goal in this game. So yeah, guys, hit me up in the comment section with your thoughts and opinions ahead of Southampton versus Leeds United. As I did say on the Watford video last time out as well, guys, I will be taking part in the charity five-a-side tournament down at Goals at Kirkstall in Leeds with All Leeds TV, LUFC, Lewis, Lad to Leeds podcast, all them guys. Quite a bit more Leeds United content creators as well on the 12th of November, and it's for the LUFC Foundation. I will drop a link to the Just Giving page for that in the description. Any little helps, guys. If you've got anything spare that you could donate, please donate. It would really mean a lot, and it is for a really good cause. So that brings us to the end of this pre-match thoughts video. As I said, guys, please smash the like button. Please subscribe, and I will see you in my post-match reaction, which this week will be on Sunday. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.